Hello everybody, welcome to the very first race of the 2026 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Welcome to a burning hot Misano in front of a wonderful crowd of people, and welcome Louise to the grid.
Yes, absolutely. I'm loving being on the grid. I'm feeling the tan coming right up. It's really nice. It's going to be a very hot race, I think. I think the qualifier was super hot. This is going to be even more.
Yeah,
so.
It's around this time of day here in Misano when the sun properly bakes down, especially on the circuit as well. The surface is red hot as well. You can feel it resonating off the track.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely mind-blowingly hot here at the moment. I'm really grateful I get to go into an air-conditioned commentary box.
That's it. You're going to be hiding away in your greenhouse, but hey, it's nice. But there's lots of new things going on this year, isn't there? There's really exciting. So one of those is the Goodyear bringing in a brand new tyre, which is 60% sustainable. There's also the Goodyear Wingfoot Award, which is coming into play for the first time this year, which is very exciting. And the FIA are also taking a very much more hands-on approach this year with sort of like strategy, the calendar, and all that kind of stuff. So it's very exciting to see what's going to happen this season, isn't it?
Yeah, they're doing a lot more on the promotional side this year rather than just the competition organisation of the series, which is going to be good. We've got 15 full season drivers joining us this season. We've got 2 race-by-race entrants this weekend. One of them is doing very well, who we will speak to very soon. But also on top of that, we've got Norbert Kirsch, obviously, on pole position. He's aiming to continue this run of form that he's had for the last couple of years now, and he's won 5 titles in a row, which is insane. But it's just how good he is, and everybody knows it. But we've had a fantastic time to start off our weekend. And as Louise rightly mentioned, we have the Wingfoot Award coming into play later on the weekend, which gets the fans involved, so you lot can vote over the course of race day number 2 tomorrow. But without just getting the Wingfoot here, we've also been getting the fans involved and reaching out to our One Truck family, as we all know, with a wonderful documentary that we've had recently, and we've prepared a wonderful trailer for it. If you haven't seen it yet, get your eyes around this.
Yeah, for the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship.
The amount of times when I've been in an airport and you get chatting to somebody, a lot of them instantly go, wow, truck racing is a thing. You know, they're over 5 tons, 1,200 horsepower, 6,000 newton meters of torque. They're numbers that you don't see anywhere else in the motorsport world.
What would you consider as a wish to win the next championship?
I think we're to win the championship, okay. We are pushing as much as we can to go as fast as possible. Obviously, there's one guy in red, which is a step ahead of everyone else.
In the past 15 years, track racing became my life.
120 points. Epic stuff once again from Norbert Kirsch and Reveish Racing. Nobody can seemingly stop them at the moment.
Guck dir Nobby an, dann weißt du genau, was ein Champion mitbringen muss.
Can anybody stop Norby doing triple Grand Slams? I mean, probably not. Albacete goes through. He goes back in front of Norbert Kirsch. It's not often we see anybody overtake Norby. Wow.
Wie funktioniert überhaupt die Zusammenarbeit zwischen euren beiden Teams?
Da habe ich jetzt eigentlich keinen Kommentar dafür, oder? Hast du eine neue Frage?
The One Truck Family documentary is available now on YouTube for you all to enjoy. A lot of love and effort went into making it, and we really do hope you enjoy it. Louise, you got the chance to watch it before the season?
I did, absolutely. You know what, as someone that's never been here before, it was a great insight into truck racing and how it all goes out. It actually prepared me a little bit for getting on the grid here today, so I think it's a great watch. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely make sure you go and check it out. It's brilliant.
And I've quickly organised to bring in a member of our One Truck family with us, Tony Smith, the father of Bradley Smith. He absolutely smashed it in that first qualifying session, didn't he, mate? You must be buzzing.
Yeah, I don't really know where that come from. He's had a lot of bad luck with it at Most and everything, so his first really time he's had to go out and test it. So, yeah, no, couldn't ask for anything better.
And how's Bradley feeling after that? I imagine confidence is through the roof.
He's up here at the moment.
He needs it with the height.
Yeah. He's due a bit of luck, so he's worked hard to get it here, and you know, Petrofit has been brilliant, and the mechanics, Joe, getting everything ready. So, yeah, fair play to him. So,
what's it been like trying to adapt to a new truck though? Because obviously it was pre-prepared. It's an ex-Antonio Albacete truck, isn't it? So obviously that's a new learning curve for Bradley, regardless of experience.
Yeah, Tim's helped Bradley since he first started truck racing a couple of years ago, and he's always helped him with the setup and everything else, and then he offered us the truck for a drive this year. So no, it's been amazing for Brad. And big thanks for Tim and Mel, for everything they've done for us.
Yeah. Well, it's been great to see it. And I mean, we try and remain as unbiased as we can as English commentators, obviously, to Bradley doing well. But I think after last season, obviously at the end of the season, it was very unsure, wasn't it, because of Don't Touch Racing leaving the championship. So I imagine it was a difficult winter.
Yeah, no, it's really unfortunate for Sven, what's happening. We was going to progress with Sven for this season. And then unfortunately what happened with him at the end of the year, but we're all still good friends. We're still parking it all up at his place, and I see him. Yeah, we're still wearing all the kit, and he's helping out wherever he can, with Bradley and everything. So hopefully next year he'll be in a situation where he can, come and help us out again, really. And he's coming to Nürburgring, so look forward to seeing him there.
Great stuff. Well, send our best to Bradley, and best of luck, mate. And have a good one.
Thanks very much.
And now we're going to go and have a really quick chat with Norbert Kish
after you,
ahead of this race. I think it's going to be very exciting. Norbert, how are you feeling about this?
I'm optimistic, I think, so far so good. I think the qualifying was good. Free practices were good. So, I don't know. I think we can be optimistic.
Hopefully less slippy this time. You said it was a little bit slippy out there before, didn't you?
Yeah, for sure. We have to check in the warm-up lap that what is the available grip. But I'm sure we will understand it pretty quickly, and then we try to make the most of it. We need to have a good start for sure. Good first turn to stay in front of Lucas, and then let's see if we can do it.
Let's see how it goes. Okay, right, we're going to go and have a chat to Lucas now, I believe. So, Jazz, take it away. Norby, good luck.
Tell him to be careful, okay? And slowly, it's okay.
Who, me?
To go slow.
Me slower or careful? You want me to be slower or more careful?
No, I want you to tell Lucas to be careful.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We'll warn him in a minute.
Take it easy, it's fine.
We're going to pass the message on for you, Nobby. Don't worry, we got you back.
I found another wonderful friend of mine from the paddock, Jane. How are you?
Hello. Oh, I'm sweating, but I'm doing fine.
Jane is part of Sasha Lenz's team, SL Truck Sport 30. Once again, good to see you back on the grid. Bit of a difficult start to the day for him, though, right?
Yeah. We'll see what's going to happen now. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think it was a little bit of his mistake, not the car, so we still keep our fingers crossed and hope the best and let the games begin.
Yeah. you have to be the hype woman for the team, don't you? Keep the spirits up and keep everybody smiling. But
like a cheerleader.
Well, it's easy to do in a paddock like this, though, isn't it? Surrounded by such lovely people and in great weather.
I know. And especially when, like I said, after a long winter, seeing everybody again, that's really great. So, boom, my heart's pounding.
Well, thank you very much, Jane. Best of luck to Sasha and the team.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Lovely. Great to speak to Jane Bigler. She's an absolute star. She's been supporting Sasha and the team for so long now, and every year she actually went through a phase of painting all of her nails, her hair, her shoes, everything purple to match the old branding of Sasha's truck.
This is the kind of commitment I've come here for.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I love that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Well, obviously, the main storyline, we've got Norbert Kish starting on pole position, Lucas Hahn alongside him instead of who is usually Jochen Hahn, who's fourth on the grid this time.
Yeah.
These two have had a lot of feisty battles in the past. So.
Hey, I can see it. Absolutely. I bet he's like, I hope he skids.
Well, that's why. I mean, he makes the joke that he wants him to be careful, but I think he means it a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it should be a good race, though. Obviously, we've got a number of the Titan drivers near the front, but a number of the Chrome drivers mixed in as well. So I wonder if we're going to see those Titan drivers come through, because obviously in trucks it's hard to overtake, right?
Absolutely. I know. I was absolutely mesmerised by the qualifier, so I think this is going to be quite teeth grinding. I think this one, isn't it? It's going to be nail biting.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how it goes.
Absolutely. Well, in just a moment, we're going to welcome our international TV audience from all around the world. So if you're with us on the YouTube broadcast, please do just bear with us. We're going to go quiet for a few moments and we'll welcome that international TV audience, and then we'll get the racing underway very shortly. Welcome everybody to round number 1 of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship from a very sunny and wonderful Misano. I'm Chaz Draycott, delighted to be joined this season by Louise Schofield. Incorrectly called Louise Sheffield a lot this weekend.
I have been, yeah, but you know, it's fine, it's very close, and it's what with the SCH, so I feel like it's almost there.
Yeah,
but
it's continental.
Absolutely. Yeah. But it's my first time here in Misano, and you know what, I'm absolutely loving it so far. The atmosphere, getting to know the drivers, getting to see the paddock, and just seeing everything that's going on here. I'm having a lovely time. So if you are brand new, come along with me, because I'm really looking forward to seeing how it unravels at the end of the weekend.
Yeah, join the journey with Louise
yes.
as we make our way through truck racing. We're stood here right in front of Lucas Hahn's truck. He just qualified this morning, second on the grid. Norbert Kish in the background took pole position. Usually we're used to seeing Jochen Hahn, Lucas's father, on the front row alongside Norby, but this time the Chrome driver is doing very well. I can see him in the cab looking mighty focused. But what we're going to do is have a quick chat with him, aren't we? We're going to see whether we can have a word with Lucas and see. Yeah, we'll see if we can sneak in and grab a word. There's always this nervous look. Lucas, good to see you. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Yeah.
Confident after qualifying, I imagine, because front row is always what you want, right?
That's true. Yeah, I didn't expect it that I stay there, but therefore I'm so happy, and now we go for racing.
What's it like trying to deal with the surprise of suddenly being right at the front of the grid? Does that add more pressure?
I don't know. I can tell you maybe later.
What's the plan for the race? Because obviously the temperature's quite difficult with the tyres. I mean, it's really hot today. So do you have to manage anything a bit differently?
Yeah, for sure. We need to push, but we need also to be consistent for the race and don't push too much, because if you push one time too much, then the race is gone. So no, we need to be I need to be concentrated, and then we can have a really good race.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Lucas Hahn there, starting on the front row with Norbert Kish alongside him. As I mentioned, the tyres may have a bit of a difficult afternoon here with this temperature that we've got. But speaking of the tyres, I had a wonderful chat with Davide Califano earlier on in the weekend about Goodyear and their new sustainable tyre, and we'll show that to you right now. I'm here with Davide Califano from Goodyear. Davide, fantastic to see you again for another season where we have Goodyear as the commercial partner of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship and obviously our tyre supplier. How does it feel to be back for another year?
Of course, that's super exciting. You know, this is, we've been truck racing for so many years, but every year is like, the first day of school. So that's a bit the feeling that we all have today. So we are really excited to be here and ready for the new championship.
And obviously one of the main talking points of this year's season is the new tyre that you've brought with you for this championship. It's going to be very interesting to see how it performs, of course, but it's more sustainable than ever.
It is. And the great thing is that in terms of performance, this is exactly the same performance that we're going to get from the previous tires. What is changing is the percentage of sustainable material which are in the tires. So last year we already made a huge step forward. We were at 55% of sustainable material in the tires, and this year we went to 60%. So this is part of our commitment for sustainability, and this is part of our commitment with the FIA to bring even more sustainability to the championship. So today we are 60%. We've introduced this year the usage of recycled steel, which help us now to improve the percentage of the sustainable material, but this is not the end. This is a journey, so we continue evolving year on year.
Absolutely. It's all about development at the end of the day. You know, these things keep getting better and better year on year. What about the actual product itself? What goes into making these tyres? Because it's not just as simple as just rubber, is it, as people think?
No, of course it's not. Of course it's not. The ingredients, I would say, are the one of the normal tyre. Of course, it's different compounds. If you take, of course, it's derivative from car racing compounds. The compounds that we are using here is not the compound we can use on the normal tyres, but the carcass is the same. So the carcass, which is the structure of the tyres, is exactly the same that we have in our production tire. Now, what was also nice to mention is that this tire, which is now 60% sustainable material, is the tire with the highest percentage of sustainable material in the Goodyear track portfolio. So this is, I think we always talk about the technology and how racing support the development of the technology. This is a great testament of how sustainability and performance can go hand in hand.
And on top of that as well, there's still the retreading program that goes ahead year on year, where these tyres, after a race weekend, they don't just get thrown away, they end up on trucks that you might see on the road.
That's exactly the point, and this is a program that we started a few years ago, and we are very proud that because after the race we can take these tires, we bring it back to our factory, and these tires will be retreaded as normal tires that will be on transport track. And we have seen also now that we have some trucks in the paddock of some of the teams, transport trucks, which are using the retreaded tires from racing, which is also, it's a circle, and that really shows the circularity of the tire management that we are doing here. And imagine that all these tires that will be used over the weekend, on Monday, we go back to the factory and we go on normal trucks on the highways. So that's, I think, great way to use the assets that we use for racings.
Well, it's fantastic to see you again, Davide, and it's great to have Goodyear back on board once again for another championship. And, well, we hope you enjoy it.
Thank you, Shaz.
Oh, it's great to hear all of the new stuff that is happening right here at the FIA. You know what? The brand anthem is about to start, so it's going to be very exciting. This is a very exciting part of the race weekend, and I'm going to let you enjoy it in just a second so you can get into them. So this is the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship anthem. How amazing is this? It's about to start. I am going to step out, and I'm going to let you enjoy it. There we go. I can hear the roar of the trucks, absolutely ready to go. I'm going to send us over to Chaz now for all the details.
Thank you very much, Louise. Welcome, everybody, to the race broadcast for race number 1 in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship in 2026. It is mighty, mighty warm, let me tell you that, and having to run up all those stairs to the commentary box is definitely going to do me some good. I'll tell you, it's been a long winter. But right now, we have a new pace truck at the front of the grid, as I'm sure you have noticed. We will have that making its way around in the not-too-distant future. But all of the personnel are told to clear the grid. A big thumbs up from Tim Frost to Lucas Hahn, I can tell you, just out the window. And we have 2 drivers right at the front of the grid who are destined to have a good battle here. Let's have a look at the track they will be doing battle on. The wonderful Misano World Circuit, Marco Simoncelli. You can see we have a chicane at the beginning of the lap, which makes things very, very interesting off of a rolling start. We then make our way away from Variante del Parco down towards Rio, an almost triple apex right-hander because you have a curved braking zone on the way in, very tight right-hander that opens up slightly to another almost 90-degree right, so the drivers have to really smooth it out, and then on the exit of the corner down the back straight, it is all about maintaining a smooth line into the left-hander at the bottom. As you can see, the air temperature has risen, it's 27 degrees now. And I know that the weather is only going to get better over the course of the weekend, which, well, who am I to complain? It's been warm in the UK recently, but it's got nothing on how warm it is here at the moment. Happy to say that, though, from an air-conditioned office, which I will continue to boast about all weekend. It's fantastic. Either way, as you can see, we have now our final personnel making their way off the grid. And I can see marshals actually instructing people to go and stand near the pit garages for the first lap of the race. Nobody is allowed on the pit wall at the start of the race. Not even marshals are allowed on the pit wall at the start of the race, as is the, unfortunately, sometimes dangerous nature of truck racing. We are realistic about the fact that these things are 5-ton racing machines. Still, if they hit a barrier, it will still do some damage. We tell you that for free. I can see some people on the pit wall that really don't want to listen to the marshals. They're saying that, look, you can't be on the pit wall now, but you can come back later. Everybody wants the best shot of the grid, though, as it rolls away here at Misano for the first time this weekend. An interesting grid we certainly do have, but at the front of it is the electric Iveco pace truck. It is the official Iveco SE-Way that we have. We used to have the bio-LNG powered machine, but now we have the SE-Way, the electric truck. Lovely looking design. It's a newly designed front end on this truck. Looks that little bit more aggressive than its previous counterparts, but it's great to have it on display here at Misano this weekend. Obviously not much of a far drive for it to come for this round of the championship, but I believe we'll be seeing a share of this truck and its younger brother, let's say, the bio-LNG powered machine, over the course of the campaign. They remain 2x2 now for the rest of this lap as a rolling start. And the whole field makes their way around turn 4. This is your grid then, with new headshots for this season, I'm happy to say. Norbert Kish on pole position, Lucas Hahn alongside him after a fantastic first qualifying session of the season. We then have Antonio Albacete starting in third place with his old sparring partner Jochen Hahn alongside him. 9 championship titles between those two. Fifth on the grid, we will find the wonderful Bradley Smith. He's a lot happier than he looks in that picture. He's got René Reiner alongside him on row 3. It was great to see Tony earlier, wasn't it? Steffi Halm, 7th on the grid, alongside Sasha Lenz. Both of them will want to finish a lot higher than that. They will consider the reverse grid for race 2, which is the top 8, but we'll have to see how they get on in that regard. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez next up, with then next to him Mark Taylor in 10th spot. Mark not wanting to be that far down the grid either. He will want to be much higher up. John Newell is 11th, with Stefan Faas in 12th position. He's going to be hoping for more from this race as well, is Stefan. Then we have Jonathan Andre. He's alongside Stefan Kirsch in 14th place. Then we have Luke Garrett in 15th position and Clemens Hecker starting in 16th spot. Both of them getting used to new trucks for this season. So still plenty of work to do in developing them and continuing to make them quicker. And as drivers, obviously, get used to them at the same time. You can see some of the drivers really getting on the brakes and then on the power. You can see some brake dust being kicked up as well as they really bed some wear into those discs. But it's going to be an exciting first race of the championship, I think, this one. We have a very interesting grid with a number of them really mixed up in the front half of the order. But look at the weather here in Misano. It's absolutely scorching. Clear skies all around and not a single threat of cloud over the rest of the day. But right now the Iveco SE-Way pace truck leads them through the final couple of corners. And we'll get ready to get this race underway, shall we? Everybody lining up 2 by 2. Stefan Faas needs to move a little bit further forward to get alongside John Newell, but I guess he knows he's on the inside line for this final corner. There are the engineers ready to get the race underway. They will shout go as soon as the lights go out. Tim Frost shouts go, and we're underway for the 2026 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. It's a great start by Norbert Kish. He cuts across in front of Lucas Hahn. A little bit of a lock-up on the way in by the look of it. There's a big lock-up for René Reiner. He's going to run wide. Bradley Smith is on the outside. Steffi Halm goes right through the middle. There's a bit of contact, and Bradley loses positions as a result. Steffi goes through. Sasha Lenz is now going to be hung out on the outside line. Sasha Lenz wants to come through really quickly here to make up positions in the early stages while it's that little bit easier. It was a busy start down at turns 2 and 3, but they just about got away with it. Norbert Kish, very importantly, takes the lead of this race. Antonio Albacete has moved up into 2nd position. Lucas Hahn holds 3rd ahead of Jochen Hahn. Then Steffi Halm has made her way up into 5th place. Everyone in the Chrome class there just trying to make their way through as cleanly as possible. But Norbert Kish in the lead And that is oh so important for Norby. He could have had a big old battle with Lucas Hahn in the opening moments here, but he's managed to get away a little bit scot-free. Antonio Albacete next up in third position. Sorry, second position actually, after moving up. Little delay on my timing screen there. Didn't swap their positions around for just a moment. Wonder if there was maybe a transponder thing with Antonio's truck. We sometimes do see that, where they'll cross a sector line and the transponder takes a few moments to send its signal through. But now we've got the interesting thing here of Lucas Hahn versus his dad, Jochen Hahn. I was going to ask him on the grid very quickly, what happens if your dad wants to make an overtake and come through? And it looks like we're going to find out. No bumper on the front of Lucas Hahn's truck, though, so I'm not quite sure what's happened there, whether he's had contact with Antonio in the first couple of moments, but we definitely didn't see that on camera. Very close, though, for second place. They are all absolutely glued together, chasing one another down. 3 Ivecos all together. Jochen Hahn now ahead of Lucas Hahn, ahead of Steffi Halm. And across the line for the first time, it's Norbert Kish then leading the way. Antonio Albacete, second position for him. This would be a great start to their campaign if he can finish with a second place. And let's think about the Chrome class as well. Bradley Smith, second in that one. Lucas Hahn leading the way there. Then it's Jose Eduardo Rodriguez just behind him, but not in the Chrome class, of course. But it's very, very close stuff at the moment throughout the pack, which is what we love to see. It's very, very busy. But Norbert Kish is the one with the early lead here. A little bit of movement here and there. Everybody just trying to behave themselves. It's the first few laps of the season. They don't want any damage or any dramas. But Norbert Kish looking really, really comfortable straight off the bat here. René Reinert having to defend from Sascha Lenz. Sascha looks like he's got a good run up the hill. Nothing quite working for him yet. I'm intrigued to see why Bradley is right under pressure from Jose Eduardo, whether he can hold him off. But Jose Eduardo Rodriguez now in the Chrome class, Titan class. Bradley in the Chrome class. I'm going to be getting that the wrong way round for a while. Jose Eduardo has already spent a year in the Titan class and I'm still not used to it, but he's quick enough to deserve that spot. As you see though, Sascha Lenz chasing down René Reinert for position. Jochen Hahn now getting a bit closer to Antonio Albacete. And now into the final couple of corners they go. It's looking extra tasty in that championship lead, isn't it? That lead group of Titan drivers all absolutely glued together. The field is not spreading out at all. This is exactly what we love to see in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Mark Taylor, currently third in the Chrome class. He's going for a podium here today. But Jose Eduardo Rodriguez is definitely trying to put Bradley Smith under pressure. Bradley won't lose anything in the Chrome Championship if he finishes behind him. But of course he wants to finish ahead of him in terms of overall honours. There's one of the penalty markers being sent to an early grave as there's a move there in between the Ivecos. Yeah, it looks like there must have been an incident between Antonio Albacete and Lucas Hahn in that opening lap, which is why Lucas has lost that front bumper. And obviously that's been noted by the FIA, by the stewards. And Lucas holds the position, defends from fellow Iveco driver Steffi Halm's contact with René Reinert. René puts his nose down the inside. I don't know if Steffi knew that he'd gone for that move that suddenly. But Steffi, now you can see the rear wheel arch of her truck is pressed upwards. You'd hope that that wouldn't cut into the tyre or cause any performance difference. It's quote-unquote only fiberglass at the end of the day, but it can make a difference. If that rubs and cuts down the tyre, then the truck will definitely not go as quickly. You can see René moving around a lot now behind Steffi's Iveco. That's certainly taking the pressure off Lucas Hahn. Sascha Lenz now waiting in the wings for a manoeuvre. Bradley Smith has actually dropped down behind Jose Eduardo Rodriguez and Mark Taylor. So Bradley now demoted from second in the Chrome class into third. It's a big shame after that qualifying performance that he put in earlier, now down to 10th place. And even in 10th, he won't actually benefit from the reverse grid either, because he would still start the race in 10th place. Norbert Kish crossing the line again, having a fantastic start to his season. First few laps have gone very, very well. Sascha Lenz there, hoping to overtake René Reiner. René's got a little bit of damage on the front right as he clipped the left rear of Steffi Struck. There's Bradley Smith and Mark Taylor. These two have raced together before in the British Championship, so they certainly know each other. Mark, the reigning Chrome champion, wants to show Bradley, his key rival from last season, that it's not going to be the same easy season for them. They've got John Newell waiting there as well, speaking of British drivers, as Bradley throws a banana skin at Mark's truck as the wheel arch comes off. Not sure if that was deployed tactically or not, whether he's got an ejection system for that, but yeah, it certainly looked like it. Round the corner, have it. Jonathan Andre and Stefan Faas all wanting a piece of the action as well. Bodywork flapping around now on the front of Jochen Hahn's truck. He sends it up the inside of Antonio Albacete. Antonio gives him lots of racing room. Lovely stuff. And I can tell you from out the window as they go up the hill, they're still side by side. Little bit of debris flapping around on Jochen's truck. But the man that started this race fourth on the grid wants to get a second spot. Once again, still trying though. Antonio kept great speed up the hill and he managed to get back in front at the hairpin. Can he make it work all the way down the hill? Is Jochen going to get the run? Let's not forget, once they get to 100 miles an hour, they can't go any quicker. And Antonio is comfortably in front right now. They make their way into the final sector, and it's not looking easy. Antonio really having to defend now. He's going to have to call on all of his experience to make this work. Lucas Hahn right in the mix as well, so if one Hahn doesn't get through, it's very likely that another will, but this is going to just help Norbert Kish disappear over the horizon. He's got a 5.1 second lead already, and as we cross the line, that may increase even further. Jochen moves out to the left-hand side just to get a little bit more of that cool, undisturbed air into the front of the truck. And right now, Jochen is really putting pressure on. I'm hearing, big thanks to Richard Rogers, by the way. He's an absolute superstar. He's joined us for this season. He's helping me out with a little bit of information here and there. If you want more information on the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, you can watch the One Truck Family documentary on YouTube now. Apparently, Luke Garrett has had a drama and is into the gravel at turn 10. Not sure if he's stuck there or whether he's been able to continue on. Have to see whether yellow flags just get waved for that sector or whether there is a stoppage. Sometimes, depending on where the truck ends up, they will stop us. Down the inside goes Jochen Hahn. He and Antonio Albacete both go straight on. Lucas Hahn down the inside says thank you very much. And while Jochen shovels Antonio out of the way, that's 3 positions for 3 Ivecos, and they will all be over the moon with that. I'm sure in the Italian region we're in, they will be absolutely over the moon with Iveco, but they're still side by side actually. It's Lucas that's gotten ahead of Jochen, and Steffi has now gotten ahead of Jochen as well, and Antonio's suddenly in the picture. So despite the position changes, it's actually Jochen and Antonio that are still fighting together. But René Reiner and Sascha Lenz are now right with them as well. This is very far from over, but a very exciting first race to start off our season. Lots to look at, lots going on. Norbert Kish has disappeared to 7 seconds ahead of everybody now. But Lucas Hahn is second and looking a little bit more comfortable than he was a few laps ago, but he's still got Steffi Halm, Jochen Hahn, Antonio Albacete, René Reiner and Sascha Lenz behind you. Now, if that's not good company, I don't know what is. Norbert Kish has some fantastic fans here on the start-finish straight. Every time he's passed, they're on the air horns. They've got a massive Hungarian flag. I thought it was just someone had hung an Italian flag incorrectly earlier, but it's actually a Hungarian flag on the start-finish straight. They've got it along the little sort of balcony area of the grandstand. But we have a wonderful crowd here in Misano this weekend. It's great to see them all here, enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the action. Well, there is Rene Reinert hoping to catch up with Antonio Albacete. But in this group, it's more difficult to follow because if there's just one truck goes a bit slowly in front of the entire queue, then obviously that slows everybody down. As you saw a moment ago, the incident between Norbert Kish... sorry, not Norbert Kish. He's just appeared in front of me, which is what put me off. The incident between Jochen Hahn and Antonio Albacete will be investigated. And there you have the 3 Ivecos, and Sasha Lenz sliding down the inside of Rene Reinert, tries the move. Does he get it done on the exit? Not quite. Oh, a little clip of that penalty marker there by Rene. That's about as softly as you can hit a penalty marker without knocking it over. He's just held the inside line as they get to the hairpin at the top. But look just behind them as well. Here's Eduardo Rodriguez in there as well. He wants a piece of this. There's some absolutely wonderful battles going on here. They're rattling around like lotto balls trying to fight with each other. All dying to be picked. And now Rene Reinert gets back in front of Sasha Lenz, down the inside, into this final sector. This is going to be really difficult for Sasha Lenz to hold on to here. Onto the brakes they go. Is he going to try and keep it round the outside? No, I think he just slotted back in behind. Yes, he does. Tries to hold position here. Doesn't give him a bump through the hairpin. That would be a cheap shot. That, and obviously they don't want to replace a front bumper after just one race this season. Rene's team will have to, unfortunately. Norbert Kish extends his race lead. And as they cross the line, it's Lucas Hahn from Steffi Halm in almost identical Ivecos, but I suppose in this circumstance, we have Lucas missing a bumper. He's in the Superleggera edition of the Iveco S-Way racing truck. But it's Kish from Hahn, which is a mouthful. Albacete, Reinert, Lenz, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, who at the moment is due to go on to pole position for race 2, as he's in 8th place. The top 8 get reversed on the grid for races 2 and 4, based on how they finish on the road. And while the racing has been a little bit argy-bargy, it's a reminder that it is all very, very clean, actually, as we all run on 100% renewable HVO diesel. I was really happy earlier to meet Jean-Francois Toulis from Total Energies and do a quick interview with him. You'll see that interview over the course of the weekend. Jochen Hahn's just gone really deep on the brakes into this left-hander as we look at Sasha Lenz and Rene Reinert. Just heard the tyre squealing out of the window, and Jochen almost went completely straight on. He managed to recover nicely. But right now, it is close between the 77 and the 30. And then the 22 and 44 are also close together. Lucas and Steffi in almost identical Ivecos. They have a very similar livery, but as you can see on Lucas's, aside from the missing bumper, there's more red on the front of Lucas's truck. But it's 3 Ivecos inside the top 5 at the moment. I know that Iveco will be very, very pleased with that if that's how it's going to finish. But Norbert Kish at this point is really making it look comfortable at the front of the order. As he crosses the line, let's see if that gap increases. He's absolutely disappearing up the road. It's 8.3 seconds, give or take, the last time they went through a timing beam. And now as they cross the line, the gap is 8.6 seconds. Steffi Halm 9 seconds off Norby at this point, but the reigning champion doing everything he needs to do in this first race of the season just to show us why that truck didn't need much development over the winter. It was always quick, and so is Norby. There could be a little battle developing here at the back end of the order as well, by the way. Stefan Kirsch and Clemens Hecker are right together. Luke Garrett has continued, I'm happy to say, albeit a few more seconds down on the rest of the order. You can see some dust on the truck, so he's clearly had quite the excursion through the gravel. Looks like Mark Taylor is safe ahead of John Newell. But Sasha Lenz now right on the back of René Reinert once again as they go through the left-hander. And look at that, 5-second penalty for Jochen Hahn for causing a collision with Antonio Albacete. So that will affect the result here if Albacete and Reinert and Lenz stay close enough. So the way we need to look at this now is on the left-hand side of your screen where the timing tower is. You can see Jochen Hahn is 9.9 seconds off the leader. So we need to convert that now to 14.9 seconds. So he would be right now behind Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, but we'll have to see if those gaps develop, because Jochen might not even start on the front row of the grid for race 2. He may end up going down to 9th if Bradley Smith can catch up that bit more with a little bit of clean air in front of him. But we'll see. We've got a number of laps left to go. We're on lap number 8 here at Misano, about to go on to lap number 9. A reminder that the counter in the top left of the screen tells you which laps have been completed so far. Norbert Kirsch now with a massive, massive lead. It should be over 9 seconds. No, it's just under 8.9 at this present moment. But Lucas Hahn holding on well in second place, and if anything, actually, looks like Jochen Hahn is closer to Steffi than Steffi is to Lucas at this stage. Lucas Hahn with great pace in that Iveco. Looking really solid, considering he's a race-by-race entrant. We don't have him for the full season this year. I think he said to me earlier in the week that we're going to be having him for 4 races. I'm excited to see how he gets on. There's Luke Garrett. He's currently running in last position, but at least he's still running. He did go through the gravel earlier, but obviously it's just been a little excursion for him. Now it's Jose Eduardo Rodriguez on the back of René Reinert as Sasha Lenz has gotten through into 6th place. Jochen Hahn at the moment would perfectly slot in between Jose Eduardo Rodriguez and Bradley Smith, which would mean actually that after the penalty, Jochen gets the benefit of starting on pole position for race number 2 later on in the day. But if he goes a little bit further ahead of Jose Eduardo while they battle behind him, then he may end up starting 7th on the grid with Jose Eduardo Rodriguez on pole position. The race has definitely calmed down a little bit now after those few opening laps and opening scuffles. A number of the drivers, I imagine, are just wanting to take it easy for the rest of this. Bradley Smith still ahead of Mark Taylor in the Chrome class. He got back in front of him and is now holding on to 9th place overall. Mark Taylor in 10th. But the battle at the moment is between the blue trucks of René Reinert and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. But there's a big group of them coming out of the final corner. Makes a great noise past the commentary box here. Really rumbles the ground. It's lovely. So many of them together. You can hear on the broadcast, I'm sure, the rattle as they go over the curbs there on the outside of turn 1. They really have to try and open up that first corner. But Jose Eduardo Rodriguez just trying to keep it tidy at the moment behind René Reinert. There again is Luke Garrett. Truck number 42 in that lovely black and green colour scheme that he's got this year, different to the black, yellow and blue that we saw him in last year. Well, then again, I suppose yellow and blue makes green, doesn't it? So it makes sense as an evolution. Very different to what we saw from him in the previous orange colours that he used to run in. But it does remind me actually of Sasha Lenz's truck from a couple of years ago, before it was purple and then white and blue. Sasha used to run in a very black and metallic green colour scheme. A big hello to Diana Garrett as well, by the way. Diana messaging me to let me know that Luke has got a shock absorber that's failed, so that's why he's having a bit of trouble. So the truck will be rattling around, whether that is the front or the back. He'll be getting a lot of vibration, and they obviously won't be rolling the weight kindly onto either corner. Thank you very much, Diana, though. Hope she's doing well. I saw Paul actually earlier on in the weekend as well. Paul Garrett, always a pleasure to see him. I do often say they'll let anybody into a race meeting, and it was very clear. René Reinert, though, in front of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez then for 7th place. I think René just wants to stick to the conformity of Truck 77 P7. It would certainly please me in a way. Same with Lucas Hahn, actually, in Truck 22, P2. Norbert Kish once again roaring past the commentary box. I'd argue he's maybe extended his lead to over 10 seconds now, really stamping his authority on the championship early on. Let's see. Yes, he has. 10.3 seconds now. And I know that he's going to be happy with that sort of performance to start the campaign. He's pretty good at a title defence, is Norbert Kish, as we've seen. He won the championship twice in a row previously, then going into 2021 all the way through to 2025. 5 championship titles in a row. It's crazy impressive. Now, down the inside goes Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. I was just looking at the lap times between the two of them there, and all of a sudden glanced over, and he throws it up the inside of the MAN. And he's going to get it done as well through the right-hander, so that's going to put him up into 7th position. But if the two of them drop far enough away from Jochen Hahn, which they have, that would mean that actually Jochen would start 6th on the grid, and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez and René Reinert will now start on the front row if it stays like this, because Jochen, with 11.6 seconds as his gap from Norbert Kish, adding on that 5-second penalty would mean he was 16.6 seconds down. And that puts him just ahead of 7th placed Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, who we have on our screen now. But Norbert Kish, once again, I'm going to run out of superlatives for him early on this season, once again, by the look of it. I need to write a new book, but he's doing a wonderful job, and it has to be respected. Him and the team do amazing things here in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. And they once again prove why they are top of the bunch. This is lap 11 of 12. Like I said, that counter in the top left actually tells you how many laps have been completed, not which lap we're on. But René Reinert was holding on really well ahead of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez for a long, long time. And as Norby crosses the line, we should now be on the final lap of the race, I believe. There goes Lucas Hahn through, followed by Steffi Halm and Jochen Hahn. It'd be great to see a Steffi Halm and Lucas Hahn podium to start the season. That'd be a very lovely way to get things kicked off, but you can see Jochen doesn't want to wait behind his teammate there, does he? Doesn't want to wait one bit. Wants to make that move and get through as soon as possible. But they're well clear of Antonio Albacete and Sasha Lenz at the moment. I think the redemption for Albacete is the fact that Jochen, with that penalty, will finish behind him in the final result. He's actually 3.7 seconds clear of Sasha Lenz, so if he has a fast enough final lap here, or if Sasha makes a mistake, he might only lose 1 position for that penalty. At the moment, he's just going to lose 2 to finish ahead of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. There it is, confirmed final lap from race control. Had a lovely tour around race control this morning, actually, thanks to Tony Idden. He showed Louise and I the wonderful place that it is. Again, nicely air-conditioned, of course. But there, through the heat haze, what's that coming over the hill? It's a Norby. It's Norbert Kish. Absolutely smashing it once again out of the park in this first race, showing us exactly why he is 7-time Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Champion. And with one more smooth application on the brakes into the final couple of corners, he makes his way into what was a very slippery Sector 3 earlier on today. And he's going to come through the bottom of shot, and there you can see second place Lucas Hahn. That is the difference, that's the gap. And for the first time this season, the checkered flag will fly in a race in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, and it's Norbert Kish that takes race victory. Very well done to Norby. Great way to start the campaign. It's then going to be Lucas Hahn. What a way to start his account this season. He takes a win, not just in Chrome, but of course, overall in second place. Steffi Halm next up. Antonio Albacete will be promoted into 4th place. And I'm just checking to see, yes, it will be Sasha Lenz next up, then Jochen Hahn, then Jose Eduardo Rodriguez in truck 38, then René Reinert, who will start on pole position for the second race of the day later. Bradley Smith is second in Chrome, ahead of Mark Taylor. John Newell finishing in 11th place. Jonathan Andre just behind him. Then we have Stefan Kirsch just across the line there. He was behind Stefan Faas. and then Clemens Hecker, truck 25, and Luke Garrett will complete the field in truck number 42. Oh, what a lovely, lovely race to start the season. Very, very strong stuff, though, from Norbert Kish once again. Great from Lucas Hahn. Bradley Smith gets a lovely podium. He'll be very, very pleased with that one. Sure that he and the team will be buzzing. A great podium for Steffi Halm as well to start the championship off. It's certainly been a busy start to the season, hasn't it? Lots going on there. But Norbert Kish was absolutely supreme at the front of the order. Bradley Smith's second place in Chrome was an interesting result in the end because he went quite backwards at the beginning of the race. He didn't have a very easy run through of it, did he? Third place went to Mark Taylor in class as well. And then John Newell was next up in number 18. But there's your podium. Lucas Hahn, the winner in Chrome. Bradley Smith second. Mark Taylor in third. And it was John Newell, Jonathan Andre, and Stefan Fass. Behind them, Stefan Kirsch, Clemens Hecker, and Luke Garrett. We'll punch the numbers in and all the championship standings and things will be calculated. I'm sure it's a lot of work to make sure that everything runs smoothly in terms of the points. There's Steffi Halm, third place for her overall in that race. Really, really good drive through the field. Steffi had to battle quite a lot in that one there, to be honest, just to make sure that the others didn't get the better of her in the final couple of moments of the race. Everybody making their way now into the pit lane. René Reinert coming in. There is Norbert Kish, and the first win to get things underway for this season. Very good stuff from him and Ballou Jr. He'll be really pleased. That's one tick in the box for him and the team to start their campaign. The fans certainly enjoyed that one, I'm sure. It's very, very busy. We've got trucks making our way underneath where my commentary box is now through to scrutineering. They will pick some trucks to bring in. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, one of them. There is Lucas Hahn. Finishing second overall, but... there we go. He's pulling next to Norbert Kish on the right-hand side. René Reinert has a lot of damage on the front of the truck. I can tell you, he's just outside of my commentary box window. And he's got a big old smash in the windscreen. But there is Norbert Kish, happy to celebrate with the team, starting things off strong, exactly as we expected them to. But, you know, thinking back a couple of seasons, Norby was looking as dominant as ever and then had an electrical failure, which took them straight out of the race. So you never know when these things can strike. You can see the heat haze and just how warm it is here at Misano. It's crazy, crazy hot at the moment. It's lovely to see, though. We'd rather it be like this than raining. Obviously. Very easy for us to just say, yeah, just don't rain. It's very, very good stuff. I'm told now we're going to go and speak to Norbert Kish. Louise has him on standby.
All right, Norbert Kish, here we go. Number one, as always, there we are. He's just getting his helmet off. I'm sure just getting a little bit of refresh. And we're going to go and stand. There we go. He's got the hat on. All right, Norby, come on. Come on over here. How was that for you? How are you feeling? Congratulations, well done.
Thank you. Very good. Good race, yes. Good start.
Good start.
Yeah, already at the braking zone. Lucas was way behind. I guess he missed the start a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, they started fighting behind me, so they slowed each other down. So they made it easy for me.
You were just paving the way, weren't you, as always?
I just had to cruise home, It was good. I mean, pace was also good, but the fight helped a lot.
Absolutely, and I'm sure this is what you're going to be taking forward for the rest of the season, I guess, huh?
Well, yeah, for sure, I mean, that's the aim. Well, the reverse grid races are always a bit crazy, so we will see what we can do there, but for sure, yeah, tomorrow and the rest of the main races, we try to take pole position and do the maximum we can.
Absolutely, and you're going to cool down now. What are you going to do for the rest of your day? You're going to take obviously before the next one, are you going to just take a minute?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we will enjoy the podium, but then, after that, Parc Fermé, and after Parc Fermé, it's back to work, because the reverse grid race is coming. And then, there's a lot to do in a track racing weekend, for sure. Until Monday, no rest.
That's it. Well, I'm going to go and let you celebrate with everyone. Thank you so much, and congratulations once again. Thank you. We're going to go over to Chaz for the final result now.
Thank you very much, Louise. Great to hear from Norbert Kish once again. I'm sure we'll be speaking to him a lot this season. He takes the race victory 11.2 seconds clear of our Chrome race winner, Lucas Hahn. He finishes second overall. Like I said, a great way to start his account for 2026. Steffi Halm in third position with a wonderful podium to start her campaign. Then Antonio Albacete is classified fourth, with Sasha Lenz in fifth. Jochen Hahn ends up sixth after his penalty. I mean, he's presented with a penalty, I guess. Then it's Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, René Reiner in eighth position, Bradley Smith still inside the top 10, and second in Chrome, with Mark Taylor completing the top 10 positions and also completing the Chrome podium as well. 11th position was John Newell in truck number 18. Then it was Jonathan Andre in 12th place. He was ahead of the three German drivers, actually, Stefan Fass, Stefan Kirsch, and Clemens Hecker in 15th place. Luke Garrett, with a shock absorber issue, was further down the order. A very interesting race to start the season, though. Plenty happening in that one, up and down the order. Let's have a look at the highlights, shall we, of what was a bit of a crazy start to our 2026 season. All of the fans out in force then in the sunshine to watch Norbert Kish lead us away for the first time this season. Antonio Albacete and Lucas Hahn getting involved in the action. They missed out on Bradley Smith with that big slide through turn 2. He lost a few places in the opening moments, but it was Norby making his way through the heat haze to lead everyone home. René Reiner and Sasha Lenz had a good scrap in the middle of the field. René taking a penalty marker with him at one point, but eventually depositing it back for us. As you can see, it was mighty hot. A big slide with Bradley Smith in his battle with Mark Taylor in the background there. Eventually, Bradley would come out on top in 9th place, just ahead. Antonio Albacete was straight on the defence with Jochen Hahn and Lucas Hahn right behind him. And then down into the left-hander. It was a big move by Jochen Hahn. Antonio wanting to close that gap. Contact was made, and unfortunately for Jochen, it would be a 5-second penalty to him, meaning that he would drop places at the end. He would need to make his way forward as best he could. But Norbert Kish soared off into the distance, and while the battles went on behind, like this one with Sasha Lenz and René Reiner, he was free to reign supreme at the top of the order. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez was next up, trying to get past René Reiner, but come the end of the race, wasn't quite able to sort of get away from René once the move was made, but he didn't need to. He didn't have that long left to make the move stick. He just needed to get it done. But speaking of getting it done, it was Norbert Kish right at the top of the order. Like I say, nearly 12 seconds clear of everybody else in that race. Lucas Hahn taking a very impressive victory in the Chrome class, and he's certainly setting the standard in these early stages. There are the delightful trophies here at Misano with Goodyear caps. Very sought after, these Goodyear caps. You can't just get them anywhere. And now we will begin the podium presentation. The man in the cowboy hat in the background is what I'm going to call it, is Boris. He's the local commentator here at Misano. He's an absolute superstar. There he is. And he's going to now do the presentation. We will do the overall podium first. And I'm sure there's going to be a very large cheer for the driver, finishing in 3rd place overall. She's a very popular character in our truck racing paddock. And we're just told to wait for just a moment by the look of it. And now he re-announces the podium girls to head back out and stand either side of the podium, hoping not to get sprayed by champagne. But then again, with races 1 and 3, the champagne tends to be quite tame. And there you can hear it announced. Steffi Halm, her first podium of the season. She makes her way to 3rd place. Had to fight hard for that one. And another Iveco joining her on the podium. Lucas Hahn next up. That one will mean a lot for him. He'll be really, really pleased about that result. A great way to start the season for him, and especially in the Chrome class as well. But our race winner very often is Norbert Kirsch, but he's done it again to start off 2026. And as you can hear, we have a lot of support for him here. And you can see the atmosphere of just how happy everybody is. Steffi Halm receives her trophy for 3rd position. 2nd place trophy will be presented to Iveco driver Lucas Hahn. And he is over the moon with that one, as I'm sure you can see. And then the winning trophy will be given to the Hungarian superstar Norbert Kirsch. All the fans that you have here in the grandstand are all going absolutely nuts. It's brilliant to see. And now we should have the Hungarian national anthem for our race-winning driver, Norbert Kirsch.
Grande applauso al podio.
And there we go. Norbert Kirsch, his first silverware of 2026. And we have a provisional result which is already sent out. Nice and speedy. And now they will pose for pictures on the top step of the podium. Oh, the champagne is brought in as well. That'll be nice to cool off with. Now, the changing of the caps. Now, you might not see this everywhere in motorsport, but a lot of drivers tend to do a changing of the caps. It's not just the tyre supplier caps they will wear. They will usually have their own branded hats as well, whether it be team wear or their own merchandise. But we do a changing of the caps here. And now it's time to spray champagne. It's very interesting, actually, from here, because where we are in the commentary box, you can just see champagne flying off from the right-hand side of the window and not actually see who's spraying it. It's just this massive cloud of champagne appearing from the right-hand side. So the way you see that white board on the right-hand side of your shot, we're literally just in the window behind that, enjoying the view from here. It's a fantastic vantage point to see a lot of the circuit. And to see the fans of Norby as well over the other side of the start-finish straight. And this is how the championship will look then after the first race. And this gives you a good idea of the point system that we run here in the overall championship. Norbert Kirsch gets 20 points for the win, 5 more than Lucas Hahn, 3 more than Steffi Halm, and then 2 more than Jochen Hahn. Although Jochen actually had a penalty, so he would be behind Antonio and Sasha there. It would be 10 for Antonio, 8 for Sasha, and 6 for Jochen. Then we have Jose Eduardo Rodriguez in 7th place, Rene Reiner 8th, Bradley Smith with 2 points already, and Mark Taylor in 10th place gets the final point from that one. Onto the Chrome podium, Mark Taylor, as I just mentioned, his first Chrome podium of the season. Next up, we will have Bradley Smith making his way up there. He'll be pleased to get some silverware already, but he might be wondering what might have been after that first very impressive qualifying session. Lucas Hahn shakes the hands of his competitors after taking his first win of the season in the lovely new black Iveco overalls. I imagine it's mighty hot up there, though. He'll maybe be hoping for some of the lighter coloured overalls that he had last season. Mark Taylor finishing in third, getting shouted at by his team down below. Bradley Smith in second place. I can see Jochen Hahn actually down there with Diana, cheering for Lucas, of course. Jochen already joining them after a difficult first race of the season. There they cheer for Lucas. A big smile on the face of Jochen and Diana Hahn, which is lovely to see from here. You can't see it on camera, unfortunately, but they both look so, so happy. And they're the German national anthem for Lucas Hahn, the winner in the Chrome class for the first race of 2026. I'm sure he'll be wanting a lot more of where that came from. A lot more victories this season. I'm sure we will see them, though. He's a very talented driver. We obviously don't have him for the full season, but I'm happy to say that from what he told me this morning, we have him for the majority of the season. He said he's hoping to do 4 rounds. The corks have gone flying, and the champagne is poured down onto the pit lane. Part of me is still surprised that's allowed, but we don't sort of share the circuit with other support series or anything like that over the weekend. And to be honest, it's that warm here, it's probably already dry by the time it's hit the floor. Let's have a look at the Chrome Championship standings then, shall we? I tried to beat the graphics guy to it, I'm sorry. Lucas Hahn has 20 points then. Bradley Smith on 15, Mark Taylor on 12. Then it's John Newell in 4th place ahead of Jonathan Andre, Stefan Faas and Stefan Kirsch, with Clemens Hecker and Luke Garrett completing the 9 drivers that we have in Chrome here this weekend. As you can see, though, Chrome get their own points away from the overall championship, which keeps it super interesting over the course of the season. It's always good fun to keep our eye on the Chrome Championship standings because, well, drivers just quite simply don't have to win the race overall. They don't have to be right up there at the sharp end. As long as they do okay in their own class, they keep that championship super interesting. At the end of last season, we went into Harama with 4 drivers that could have won the Chrome Championship at the end of the season, and it was an absolutely wonderful race meeting. There is a shot of the pit lane. I'm literally just in that window to the left-hand side of shot, actually, from where our wonderful cameraman Leon is stood right now. As you can see, it is red hot down there. You can see the tarmac almost reflecting. It's just that shiny because it's just so, so boiling here. There are all the wonderful people down at the podium. There's Steffi Halm. Big smile on her face. She's very, very happy with her performance in the first race of the day. And don't forget, we have another race coming up later on this afternoon. 4 races we have in a Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship weekend. They have the team podium going on at the moment. We also have the Teams Championship to think about, in fact, where a number of the drivers and teams all pair up to see who can win the championship in that respect. So it's not just about individual driver performance. There's a lot of elements to this championship, lots of things to be won, and lots of competition to be had. And now all the media and all of the team members are now going to make their way back across into the paddock, and everybody returns to workstations before the rest of the weekend. I'm happy to say we've got an interview lined up with Louise. She's with Steffi Halm.
Steffi, how are you doing? How are you feeling? How was that for you?
Yeah, it's great to finish on the podium, especially on the first race weekend. We didn't have a good qualifying. We had a lot of trouble with the truck during the day. So that's what was the reason why the qualifying was not good and I was too slow. And starting from the 7th place was not easy because you have a lot of trucks in front of you, but also in the rear. So I just want to stay calm, make a clear start and no contact, no accident, just make my way, maybe find a solution to pass 1 or 2 trucks, and it worked very well. I had I gained I think 3 positions. I was 4th I think after a few corners, and then I just tried to manage. It was a big trouble between Jochen and Antonio, and there I gained again 2 positions. I was not able to overtake Lucas, but in the end, what can I say? I'm really happy for the team and for me.
Absolutely, and such a beautiful day as well. I mean, how does this make you feel going forward as well with the season? It must be quite exciting as well.
Yeah, for sure. The winter was long, and you did many things. We built a completely new truck. So for sure we were testing before Misano, and the other ones, but with the testing you never know where you really stand. So here is the first competition to see where is your standing, and in the qualifying it was not good. I was not happy, but now with the result, all done.
Well, you've come up on the podium, which is really exciting. So Steffi, thank you so much for chatting to me, and best of luck for the rest of the season as well. It's going to be exciting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. Right, we're going to shoot back to Chaz now, I think. Okay, so that is it for today, actually. So I'll be back for the next live stream, which is coming up very soon. So make sure you stick with us. But for now, I'll catch you on the next one.